Have you ever stood in front of the mirror wearing your favorite outfit and wondered, why do I look so tired, almost older than I really am? Or have you ever noticed how two women of the same age can appear so different, with one fading quietly into the background while the other shines with radiance? The truth is, age itself is not the enemy. In fact, age can be a source of beauty, grace, and wisdom. What often betrays us are the silent signals in our style, the outdated silhouettes, the heavy accessories, the tired posture, or even the wrong pair of shoes. These subtle details speak louder than we realize, sometimes labeling us as old before we even open our mouths. But here is the good news. This video is not about pretending to be younger or chasing trends that do not fit us. It is about reclaiming our elegance and confidence. I am going to walk you through 7 of the most common mistakes women over 50 make, and more importantly, show you simple, practical solutions. Together, we will discover how small changes can bring back vitality, style, and joy. And before we begin, let me warmly invite you to subscribe to this channel. Not because it helps me, but because you deserve a space that reminds you every week of your beauty, your strength, and your endless possibilities. Leave me a comment too. Share your thoughts, your stories, or even your challenges. Your voice may inspire another woman watching today. And I promise you this. If you stay until the end of the video, I will reveal a little-known style secret that even professional stylists rarely talk about, but it has the power to instantly transform the way people see you. Curious? Then, let's begin. Number 1. Outdated silhouettes. Why shape still matters. After 50. Let's be brutally honest here. Nothing shouts old lady faster than an outdated silhouette. You know what I mean? Those boxy jackets, shapeless skirts, oversized tunics that seem to swallow your body whole. Clothes that were once marketed as age-appropriate or comfortable often end up hiding not just your body but also your energy and personality. I remember when I turned 55, I thought I was doing myself a favor by buying flowy tops that covered everything. I felt safe in them. But one day my granddaughter looked at me and said, "Grandma, why are you wearing a curtain?" That comment stung, but it was the wake-up call I needed. She was not trying to be unkind. She simply noticed what I had ignored for years. My clothes were wearing me instead of me wearing them. Here is the truth. Fashion is energy. The shape of your clothing influences how people perceive your vitality. When you wear something too baggy, the world does not see elegance. They see someone retreating, someone fading into the background. On the other hand, when your clothes are tailored with structure and flow, you do not just look younger, you look alive. Now let me ask you, have you ever put on an outfit and felt instantly frumpy, as if you wanted to hide? Did you assume it was because of wrinkles or gray hair? What if the real reason was simply the cut of your clothes? The good news is that you do not have to squeeze yourself into anything tight or uncomfortable. Modern style today is all about balance. Think of slim tapered trousers instead of wide shapeless pants. A-line skirts that follow your figure rather than hang like drapes. A blazer slightly fitted at the waist can take years off your appearance instantly. Here is a simple picture. Imagine 2 women who are both 65 years old. The first one wears a floral smock dress that looks more like a housecoat. She blends into the background. The second wears a knee-length shift dress with clean lines and a light scarf. Same age, same beauty, but one looks invisible while the other looks radiant and full of life. Let me share a personal note. Once I swapped my oversized cardigans for a modern open-front jacket, I did not just look different, I felt different. My posture improved, I smiled more, and even strangers complimented me. That is the power of choosing shape instead of bulk. So my dear friends, outdated silhouettes do not just age you, they erase you. Choose clothes that celebrate your body instead of hiding it. Trust me, you deserve to be seen. And here is something even more exciting. Once you start to notice this silent fashion trap, you will begin to see other subtle style signals that may also be holding you back. Let's explore those together in the next part. Number 2. Shoes and footwear. The silent deal breaker. Let's talk about shoes, because nothing can break an outfit faster than the wrong pair. You might have the most beautiful blouse, a perfectly tailored skirt, or even a chic jacket. But if you pair it with orthopedic-looking sandals or worn-out sneakers, the whole look collapses. Shoes are not just about function. They send powerful messages about energy, vitality, and confidence. I learned this lesson the hard way. In my early 60s, I thought comfort was everything. So I wore old slip-ons that had clearly seen better days. They were easy to put on, and I told myself, at least my feet don't hurt. One afternoon, my neighbor, who is the same age as me, came over wearing sleek white sneakers with a casual dress. We were standing side by side chatting in the driveway, and I noticed how fresh and modern she looked. Meanwhile, my shoes made me look like I had just come from gardening. That was my moment of realization. Here is something worth asking yourself. Have you ever looked down at your shoes and thought, they are good enough? Do you believe people do not notice? The truth is, they notice more than you think. Shoes anchor the way you move, and when they look frumpy or outdated, they silently tell the world that you are slowing down. The good news is that style and comfort can absolutely coexist today. In 2025, the footwear industry reported that demand for supportive yet stylish shoes for women over 50 grew by nearly 18% compared to the previous year. This means brands are finally listening to us. There are so many options that combine elegance with ease. Think of loafers with sleek lines and cushioned soles, pointed-toe flats that elongate the leg, or low block-heeled boots that give lift without pain. Even sneakers can be chic if you choose modern, slim styles in fresh colors like white, navy, or beige. One of my clients, age 58, used to wear old beige slip-ons that flattened her whole outfit. We swapped them for a pair of white leather sneakers, and suddenly the same outfit looked fresh, confident, and youthful. She later told me she received compliments at the grocery store from people she had known for years who suddenly noticed her. That is the transformative power of footwear. So, my friends, do not underestimate your shoes. They are the punctuation mark of your outfit. The right pair can instantly elevate you, while the wrong pair can undo everything else. Ask yourself right now, which shoes in your closet are holding you back? Which pair makes you feel unstoppable? And here is where it gets even more interesting. Once you see the impact of footwear, you will start to realize that other small details in your style are speaking loudly about you as well. Let's take a look at one of those subtle signals in the next section. Number 3, outdated prints and patterns, the hidden age marker. Prints can be powerful. They are often the first thing people notice, even before the shape of your outfit. The wrong print can drag you back into the 1980s in an instant, while the right print can make you look fresh, elegant, and modern. Tiny ditzy florals, faded pastels, and upholstery-style patterns are the most common culprits. They may remind people of curtains or old wallpaper, and once you wear them, the association with the past is unavoidable. I remember one Sunday when I pulled out a pastel floral blouse I had owned for more than 20 years. I paired it with beige trousers, thinking it was soft and feminine. When I arrived at a family gathering, my daughter quietly whispered, "Mom, that looks like something Grandma used to wear in the 80s. That was a moment of realization. My outfit did not just make me look older, it made me look out of touch. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever put on a printed blouse or dress and felt like something was not quite right, even if you could not explain why? Do you keep certain pieces in your closet simply because they feel familiar, not because they make you feel confident? The solution is not to give up prints altogether. Prints can be fabulous when used wisely. In 2024, a survey by the American Apparel Association showed that bold prints and geometric patterns ranked among the top choices for women aged 50 to 70 who wanted to feel stylish yet age-appropriate. This shows that modern prints are not about chasing youth, but about expressing confidence. Instead of tiny fussy florals, try larger blooms on a solid background. Swap busy patchwork patterns for clean stripes or geometric shapes. Abstract prints can look artistic and contemporary without tying you to any specific decade. And if prints feel intimidating, solid colors are always a safe choice, especially when you highlight them with accessories like a statement scarf, necklace, or handbag. Let me give you an example. Imagine two women, both 62 years old. One wears a faded pastel blouse with a tiny floral pattern and beige pants. Sweet, yes, but it feels dated. The other wears a navy blouse with bold white geometric shapes, paired with crisp trousers. Same age, same beauty, but one looks stuck in the past, while the other looks confident, current, and radiant. Personally, I have learned that when I choose prints, I must choose with intention. A few years ago, I replaced my drawer full of old pastel tops with just 3 printed blouses, one with bold florals, one with stripes, and one with a modern, abstract design. Every time I wear them, I feel more vibrant, and people often comment that I look stylish. That small change gave me a big boost of confidence. So remember this: prints are loud. If you let them, they will either speak for your vibrancy or whisper that you are out of touch. Choose carefully and let your prints tell the story you want the world to hear. And here is the best part. Once you start updating your prints, you will begin to see how other style details can also be refreshed to reflect the woman you truly are today. Let's keep exploring together. Number 4. Outdated hair and makeup, the frame around your face. Hair and makeup are the frame around your face, and they often speak louder than the clothes you wear. Nothing can add years faster than hair dyed jet black, styles that are stiff with hairspray, or heavy makeup that settles into fine lines. These choices might have worked when we were younger, but today they can make our faces look harsh and tired. I made this mistake myself. For years, I insisted on dyeing my hair the darkest black because I thought it hid my grays. I also stuck with the same strong eyeliner and matte foundation I had worn since my 40s. One day, a friend invited me to lunch, and I noticed how radiant she looked. She had soft brown highlights and natural makeup that seemed to light up her skin. Sitting next to her, I realized my black hair looked flat and severe, and my heavy makeup was actually exaggerating my wrinkles. That was the moment I knew I needed to change. So let me ask you, when was the last time you updated your hairstyle? Are you still using the same lipstick shade you wore 20 years ago? Do you feel like your makeup makes you look fresher, or does it make you feel weighed down? The solution is much simpler than most women think. Small updates can make a huge difference. For hair, softer layers that frame the face look far more flattering than stiff styles. Warm brown tones, soft highlights, or even a graceful silver blend can brighten the skin and soften facial features. According to a 2024 report from the Professional Beauty Association, women over 55 who shifted from very dark hair dye to lighter, blended tones reported feeling more confident and receiving more compliments on their appearance. Makeup follows the same principle. Instead of heavy matte foundations, a lightweight tinted moisturizer or sheer foundation allows the skin to look natural and glowing. Trade harsh black eyeliner for softer brown or gray tones that define without overwhelming. And for lips, shades like berry, soft pink, or natural red look far more modern and fresh compared to frosted or overly pale lipsticks. I once worked with a client in her early 60s who had always dyed her hair jet black. She looked serious and older than her years. We added chestnut brown highlights, gave her a layered bob, and suggested she try a sheer foundation with a berry lipstick. The change was remarkable. Her skin looked brighter, her eyes looked softer, and people around her immediately noticed. She told me it was the first time in years she felt radiant again. Remember this: hair and makeup are not about hiding age. They are about showing that you are alive, present, and evolving. They can whisper tired and stuck, or they can shout confident and vibrant. The choice is yours. And here is something worth keeping in mind. Once you refresh your hair and makeup, you will start to notice how other details of your style can also be adjusted to highlight your true elegance. Let's continue to explore those next. The 5. Being too matchy-matchy, when coordination looks outdated. There was a time when matching every part of your outfit was considered the height of sophistication. Shoes that perfectly matched the handbag, a belt in the exact same color, and jewelry that looked like a complete set. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, this was the rule of elegance. But today, that level of coordination feels stiff, predictable, and unfortunately old-fashioned. I have been guilty of this myself. I remember going to a wedding about 10 years ago. I wore a floral dress, red heels, a red handbag, and even a red necklace. At the time, I thought I looked polished. Looking back at the photos now, I realize I looked more like I was following a dated style manual. There was nothing wrong with the pieces individually, but together they made me look cautious and much older than I felt inside. So let me ask you, do you still find yourself reaching for the same set of accessories because they match perfectly? Do you ever worry that if your shoes and handbag are not identical in color, your outfit will look wrong? If so, it might be time to rethink that habit. The modern approach is not about exact matches, but about effortless coordination. Fashion today celebrates contrast, balance, and creativity. Instead of pairing red heels with a red bag, try combining tan sandals with a floral dress and a woven straw tote. That kind of mix looks free, modern, and stylish. Neutral pieces are your best friends here. A classic black or beige bag can pair with almost anything without making the outfit look forced. In fact, a recent 2025 style survey by Fashion Insight magazine found that 72% of women over 50 said they felt more youthful and confident when they mixed textures and tones rather than sticking to exact matches. This shows that moving away from rigid rules is not just about trends, but about feeling authentic and at ease. Let me share a client story. One of my clients, age 61, came to me wearing a navy dress with navy shoes, a navy clutch, and pearl jewelry. Everything matched so precisely that the look lost energy. We updated her accessories by keeping the navy dress, but pairing it with tan sandals, a gold bracelet, and a straw handbag. The transformation was immediate. She looked lighter, more relaxed, and people at her event told her she seemed 10 years younger. Personally, I now enjoy mixing pieces that used to intimidate me: a burgundy scarf with neutral shoes, a leather bag with suede loafers, or a patterned blouse with a simple nude clutch. These combinations make me feel creative and confident rather than stuck in old rules. So, remember this: fashion today rewards balance and intention, not duplication. If everything in your outfit looks too perfectly coordinated, it risks looking dated. The next time you get dressed, ask yourself, am I creating balance, or am I just matching pieces out of habit? And once you experience how liberating this shift can be, you will start to see how other small style choices can also be adjusted to highlight your individuality. Let's continue uncovering those details together. Bar 6. Heavy and outdated accessories. When details weigh you down. Accessories are supposed to be the finishing touch that elevates your style, but when they are too heavy, too clunky, or clearly outdated, they end up aging you instead. Think of oversized plastic bead necklaces, bulky handbags with dated hardware, or large clip-on earrings. These pieces once had their moment, but today they can look costume-like rather than elegant. I once made this mistake myself. In my late 50s, I attended a holiday party wearing a black blouse and a massive plastic bead necklace that I had owned since the 90s. I thought it added sparkle. A younger colleague later told me kindly that the necklace looked like something from a vintage costume box. That was hard to hear, but it opened my eyes. The blouse was chic, but the accessory pulled the whole look backward. So let me ask you, do you still have heavy jewelry sets tucked away in your drawer that you wear out of habit? Are there handbags in your closet that feel more like luggage than an accessory? When was the last time you updated your everyday earrings or necklace? The modern approach to accessories is about quality over quantity. A delicate gold chain looks far more refined than 3 chunky necklaces. Small hoops, studs, or simple drop earrings highlight the face without overwhelming it. Handbags should be structured and streamlined. A medium-sized leather crossbody or a small tote in a neutral color can work with almost anything and will always look current. According to a 2024 retail report by Statista, sales of minimalist jewelry in the United States grew by 12% compared to the previous year, driven largely by women over 50 who wanted pieces that felt timeless instead of trendy. This shows that elegance today is often found in subtle, intentional details rather than in heavy, attention-grabbing items. I worked with a client in her early 60s who wore a huge bead necklace every time I saw her. She believed it made her outfits look complete. We decided to replace it with a slim gold necklace. The difference was astonishing. Suddenly her face looked brighter, her blouse looked more polished, and people around her immediately noticed the change. She told me afterward that the compliments kept coming and she realized less really was more. Personally, I now focus on accessories that feel light, modern, and versatile. Instead of filling my jewelry box with dozens of old sets, I own fewer pieces but wear them more often and with more confidence. That shift not only updated my style, but also made getting dressed in the morning so much easier. So remember this. Accessories should highlight you, not weigh you down. When chosen with intention, they can add elegance and confidence. When outdated or oversized, they can make even a chic outfit look tired. And once you embrace this lighter, more modern approach to accessories, you will begin to notice that other non-clothing details can have just as much impact on how youthful and confident you appear. Let's explore one of those next. Number 7. Posture and presentation. The silent signal of confidence. Posture is often overlooked, but it can speak louder than any outfit. A slouched back, eyes cast downward, and shuffling steps can make even the most stylish clothes lose their impact. When your body language communicates fatigue or insecurity, people notice it instantly, often before they notice your clothing or accessories. I had to face this myself. A few years ago, I attended a charity event wearing a beautifully tailored dress. Yet, when I saw the photos later, I realized I looked older and less vibrant than I felt. My shoulders were hunched and my head tilted down. The dress was perfect, but my posture completely undermined the effect. That was when I started practicing small changes in how I carried myself, and the difference was remarkable. So let me ask you, have you ever seen two women wearing similar outfits, yet one looks radiant while the other looks tired? Could the difference be their posture rather than their clothes? The solution begins with awareness. Standing tall with shoulders relaxed and chin slightly lifted instantly projects confidence and vitality. A smile and steady eye contact make you appear approachable and youthful. Walking with purposeful steps rather than shuffling signals energy and presence. The good news is that posture can be improved at any age. According to a 2025 health and wellness survey by the American Chiropractic Association, 68% of adults over 55 reported better confidence and reduced back pain after practicing daily posture exercises for 3 months. Simple routines like shoulder rolls, wall stretches, and core strengthening can have both physical and visual benefits. I often suggest starting small. Practice standing against a wall with your back straight for just 1 minute a day. Focus on keeping your shoulders back while relaxing your neck. When walking into a room, imagine you are being photographed. This simple mental trick can help you walk taller and with more presence. I worked with a client in her late 60s who dressed impeccably, but always looked tired. She would shuffle her feet and avoid eye contact. We practiced posture awareness together, and she began walking with her head held high and a gentle smile. At her granddaughter's graduation, people told her she looked 10 years younger, even though she was wearing the same outfits she always had. The only difference was how she carried herself. Personally, I have learned that posture is not about perfection, it is about intention. Every time I remind myself to lift my chin and soften my shoulders, I feel more alive and people respond to me with more warmth. So remember this: clothes can enhance your appearance, but it is your posture and presence that define how others see you. The way you carry yourself tells the world if you are fading into the background or still shining brightly. And once you begin to embrace posture as part of your style, you will start noticing how small shifts in other areas of life can create the same powerful ripple effect. Let's continue uncovering those together. An inspirational story. One of my most memorable clients was a woman in her late 60s named Linda. When I first met her, she admitted she felt invisible. She often wore oversized sweaters, carried an old bulky handbag, and dyed her hair jet black to hide the gray. People constantly assumed she was older than she really was, and she told me that even her grandchildren teased her about looking old-fashioned. Together, we made simple but intentional changes. Linda updated her hairstyle with soft layers and warm brown highlights. She replaced her heavy bead necklaces with a delicate gold chain, and we found a tailored blazer that fit her beautifully. Within weeks, she began receiving compliments everywhere she went. At her granddaughter's school play, another parent told her she looked radiant and asked if she had been on vacation. She laughed and said, "No, I just stopped hiding myself." The transformation was not only about how Linda looked, but how she felt. She carried herself with more confidence, smiled more often, and told me she finally enjoyed shopping again. According to a 2024 survey by the American Association of Retired Persons, 64% of women over 55 reported that updating their personal style improved not only their appearance but also their self-esteem. Linda became living proof of that. So let me ask you, what would happen if you made just one small change today? Whether it is a new accessory, a fresh haircut, or a brighter lipstick. Sometimes style is not just about clothes, it is about how others see us and how we see ourselves. And once you realize that, you will be ready to explore even deeper ways to let your presence shine. As we come to the end of this journey together, think back to the quiet signals we have uncovered. The shape of our clothes, the shoes we wear, the prints we choose, the way we style our hair and makeup, the balance of our accessories, even the way we carry ourselves. Each of these details may seem small, yet together they create the story the world sees. More importantly, they shape the story we tell ourselves. Fashion has never been about pretending to be young again. It is about honoring the woman you are right now, with all the grace, wisdom, and individuality that life has given you. After 50, beauty does not fade. In fact, this is the moment when elegance can truly bloom, when we have the confidence to choose with intention and the freedom to express who we really are. So today, I invite you to take one simple step. Open your closet, find the piece that no longer makes you feel alive, and replace it with something that does. That single choice can be the beginning of a powerful transformation.